Chapter 6: What Masculine Men Want from Feminine Women, and What You Have to Understand About Masculine Men to Get What You Want. If, based on my system, you choose to be the feminine energy in a relationship, it means that you will be looking for certain qualities from that masculine man who will best complement you, and he will be likewise expecting certain qualities from you. This chapter will distill his qualities and then guide you through your own corresponding role. The male energy is the giving, initiating, leading, active partner who elicits surrender, receptivity, and bonding from his partner. When the masculine energy gives, protects, and cherishes, he is penetrating the other's defenses to surrender to the pleasure of the relationship. A masculine man is a natural developer of anything that he sees, and that includes a piece of land or a woman. With a woman, he thinks she is going to be so great if we just do this or that, and I'll show her how. Therefore, one of the most important qualities your masculine man will look for from you is joyous receptivity. By this, I mean not only he will expect you to receive gifts with joy, but also the things that don't feel too good, such as how to do it messages. A man does not want to fight tooth and nail to get a thought into your thick skull. He wants you to be receptive to his opinions, suggestions, and plans. Although you must respect your masculine man, you will not try to earn his respect. Instead, you will want him to cherish your feelings. Unfortunately, the more you intimidate a masculine man with your respectability, the less he will be able to see you as a sexually desirable. Men with masculine-based energy systems tends to want to make love to women who want to be cherished rather than a woman who wants to be respected. A second thing that a man wants from a woman is that she be available for him. That is why you are a career woman instead of a woman with a career. Your time will be limited and you will not be compatible with a masculine man. A masculine man will want you to be available for him to play with and have sex with, and he will want you to be responsive to his lovemaking because he is not just a taker who is in it for his own pleasure. He wants to give you pleasure so that you will totally surrender to him. He will take particular joy in making you feel wonderful by bringing you to orgasm. Feminine women surrender and bond to men through their bodies, through making love. When a woman gives her body to a man, there is a strong chance that she is going to become bonded to him, even after only one good encounter. For this reason, it's easy to bond to the wrong man. A masculine man knows that if he gets into your knickers long enough and pleasures you, you're his. Before sex, he may have been a monster, but all of a sudden, after good sex, he gets really better looking and nicer. But what is really happening is that he is pleasing you and you are rationalizing away his negative elements. Don't do it. The basic qualities you will be looking for from your masculine man are that he be joyously generous, physically protective, and willing to cherish your painful feelings before his own. Generosity is a very basic trait in a masculine man. If he has money to spend, he will do so joyously. He will not ask you to pay your way. If he invites you out on a date or a trip, he will assume the responsibility for paying. Masculine men see their money as a way to have fun, not exert control. If they have it to spend, they will do it with pleasure. Money is just the scorecard for the game. It is not the goal of a man's life. A masculine man will want to provide money so that you will feel safe and secure and so that you can enjoy life, especially after you marry. He will show his love by taking care of his money-making career. He knows that if he slacks off in the area of money-making, he risks the loss of respect for himself. In contrast, as a feminine energy woman, you will be more relationship-oriented. You will not have career and money as your first goals. Therefore, you will need a masculine man to give you status, marriage, and security. You will want him to pay the bills while you are having babies, while you are upgrading your career skills, and while the kids are little so that you can return to your career. That way, between the two of you, work and relationships are balanced. If, however, you make the mistake of allowing your man to view your career as equal to his, or even more important, you will rarely have the option of quitting for a baby or a cherished wish to follow your education. A masculine man must be passionate about his work. It doesn't matter if he is a bank president or the janitor. A man with a boring job that does not excite his enthusiasm and creativity will not earn respect from you. To maintain your respect, your masculine man will act in a disciplined manner physically, mentally, and emotionally. If he binges on food, drink, drugs, or sex, or becomes a workaholic, or emotionally binges and rages in violence, you will lose respect for him and inevitably be unable to be sexually responsive. A man will maintain his woman's respect by making and keeping his commitments to the best of his ability. Any sloppiness with commitments will indicate that he doesn't cherish your feelings and wants his feelings cherished instead. Narcissistic people always want to be respected and cherished, so if they fail to make or keep commitments, whether big or small, they want their behavior to be accepted and not confronted. But a woman with such a man will soon feel uncherished and quickly lose respect for him. It is important that you do not rationalize away your feelings in favor of his. If he is the masculine energy and you are the feminine, it is his job to cherish your feelings ahead of his own. Unfortunately, a feminine woman who is sexually bonded to her man will often bend over backward to give him another chance, or make excuses for him, or delay confronting him with his priorities have slipped into selfishness. This is a big mistake. As soon as you perceive your man slipping, you must talk to him about your negative feelings in order for the relationship to function smoothly. Of course, at the same time, you are watching to see how your masculine man is handling his priorities. He is watching to see how you are handling yours. Are you listening to his ideas? Are you fighting him for power and respect? Do you either break commitments or fail to make them? If you fail to appreciate what he does to please you, do you give back love, affection, time, and sensual? A masculine man must know what he thinks and wants. Knowing what he thinks and wants allows him to focus better. And a focused, thinking masculine man will act decisively, which, which will elicit respect from you, his feminine woman. He will say, "We're going to go there. We're going to do this. I'm going to get that job. I'm going to build this house. I'm going to provide for you. How do you feel about that?" And you will tell him how you feel, whether it be positive or negative. Of course, in order to get what you want, you must give your man what he wants, unless what he wants is immoral or unethical or causes you discomfort. You cannot use power plays because in the long run, they don't work. The big error many feminine women make is to manipulate their man into giving back instead of waiting for their men to give first so they can give back. Although you will want your masculine man to lead, you will not like being controlled, and sometimes it does feel like a man just wants to control you. If you find yourself in this situation, my suggestion is to say something like, "I'm not comfortable doing this your way. Do you have another suggestion that might feel better to me?" If you speak to him this way, I can almost promise you that your masculine man will be happy to oblige, because it means that he is cherishing your negative feelings ahead of his own. By putting your feelings before his own, he is showing his commitment to you, and this will allow you to respect him and follow his lead. Feminine women literally gush painful feelings verbally, and they need to know that all those painful feelings will be accepted, even if not approved of by their men. Masculine energy men like to nurture their loved ones. Their own internal feminine aspect wishes to empathize and share. They are not macho men out of touch with their feelings and unwilling to be open to another's pain. Instead, a masculine man is confident that he can cherish his woman until a solution can be found. He does not run away from her pain, nor does he expect her to handle it alone. The problem is that sometimes your testosterone based, level headed masculine man will be annoyed with you at just the time you need his cherishing, because you are not as logical as he expects you to be. Often the assumed To be logical words you are screaming at the top of your lungs are meaningless. And what you are really saying is, I'm scared, I feel jealous, I feel sad, I feel confused. This often results in conflict and argument, which can lead to the destruction of the relationship. But what if your man doesn't even say a word at a time like that, but just hugs you, even though you are hostile? Then you and he can achieve communication. He has cherished your feelings, and you can relax and reconnect with your smart self and talk rationally. For a masculine man to say, honey, I hear your pain, but I haven't got a clear idea of what you're in pain about. Can you talk more about it? Is heaven on earth for a feminine woman. Here is a pledge that I ask the masculine men at my seminars to take. I promise to cherish the women, kids, and animals in my life, even when they are irrational, irritating, and totally illogical. Here is one for women. I promise to respect my chosen man and his thoughts, suggestions, ideas, and plans, even when I know I'm smarter and I can do it better. As a feminine woman, you will also want your masculine man to give you protection in the world. You will not want to have complete responsibility for your own welfare. You will not want to kick your own tires, change your own transmission oil, or check out strange sounds in the night. A masculine man will want to put out his body between danger and his loved ones. He won't expect or assume that you can take care of yourself. Equality between the sexes is a love affair, is not in the masculine way. A woman surrenders through her body, and a man surrenders when he makes a commitment. When he marries, he gives up a responsibility and takes on the responsibility of his woman and everybody she loves, and she gives up her independence. Does that mean that she gives up her sense of self, or does that mean or that she doesn't have any rights? No, it just means she cannot remain physically, mentally, or emotionally independent. She can be what I call undependent, which is dependent at home and independent at work. The undependent female woman is dependent on a man in the categories where he has preference, usually in things that affect his role as financial provider, such as where they live and how they handle money, as well as love, affection, time, and sex. An undependent woman does not need to co design a budget. She trusts and respects her man and implements his design. If it doesn't work for her, she respectfully tells him how she feels, but does not attempt to take over as she could do it better. She defers to him for the team's sake. A masculine man calls the plays and she helps him implement them so that the team wins, even if every player has to compromise some individual spontaneity and creativity along the way. Likewise, the undependent man with a masculine based energy system knows he has a right to his friends, his career, and hobbies, and doesn't let a woman intimidate him out of them. An independent feminine woman has the same rights. Balancing and compromising are necessary to achieve these goals. After they are married, he might stay home with the kids while she goes to a night class. Maybe she supports him playing golf on Sunday morning with the guys while he works it into the family budget so she can visit her family out of state. She understands that he needs to socialize with clients at times, and he understands that she might like to go out with the girls. Not every woman wants to do what is necessary to be the feminine energy. It can be difficult to defer and suppress a need to control and instead be patient and passive. But this is what it takes to be with a masculine man. If you don't want to curtail your male energy, there are feminine men who will follow your lead. Choose your style. After they had been together for a few months, Athia was sure that Joseph loved her. He tried to please her in small and large ways. She had never experienced such tender love and freely given, and soon she became accustomed to it. Everything was perfect except the problem she had with his career. Joseph was a cameraman for a major studio in LA, and his hours were difficult. When he was shooting a picture, he might be on set until 2 a.m. Going on location took him away for weeks at a time. At first, Athea did not complain about his hours, because she was afraid to turn him off by driving him away. But after 9 months, she felt confident about his commitment and began giving him a hard time, knowing full well that Joseph could do little about his hours and that his work was very important to him. At first, he listened and comforted her by reminding her he was saving money for her engagement ring. But as time passed, Joseph saw that cherishing Athia did little good. She wanted to control his career, and he would not have it. He warned her that he was running out of patience, and when she continued to complain, he left. Athia was devastated. She thought he had needed her more than anything and would not leave. Wrong. Joseph was willing to share himself and his life, but was not willing to be controlled. Althea needed to learn how to respect a man. The sad thing is, once they leave, masculine men tend to slam the door on intimacy with the woman they just left. They can be friends, but rarely lovers again. As one man told me, once a deal falls out of escrow, I leave it and go on. The connection is broken.